Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how I've created this welded snowflake layer card front for this card that you can see here, and it was created using a dingback font for the snowflake shapes. Okay, so I'm in ScanNCut Canvas, and the first thing I'm going to do is come over to the basic shapes and get myself a rectangle. I'm going to make this rectangle 4 inches by 5.5 inches wide. So I'm going to untick the maintain aspect ratio, and in the first box I'm going to type 4 and enter, and in this second box I'm going to type 5.5 and enter. That just represents the size of the front of my base card. So now what I'm going to do with that selected, I'm going to create a duplicate. I'm going to make this slightly smaller to fit on this base card, so I'm just going to drag it in and make it about 5.25 wide for now, and I'll just see how it looks. So the next thing I'm going to do is, with it selected, I'm going to left click on it to expose the nodes, and I want this line here, so I'm going to click on a node until I get this line selected. Then I'm going to come up to this box here, which is the node editing box, and this opens once you expose the nodes here. I'm going to click on curve, and that's going to give me these 2 handles. I'm going to drag the left one up and drag the right one down to give me this arch shape. Then I'm just going to left click anywhere on the page to deselect. So when that is layered on top of my base card, it's going to have that kind of curve to it, and that's what I want. Now the next thing I'm going to do is bring in some snowflake shapes, and these are from a font called WW Flakes. And I'm not going to show you how to go about finding them and downloading them, because I have done videos on that before, and I'm also not going to show how I converted them in the font converter, because again, if you go to my channel and go to the playlists and look in the font playlist, you'll find all the information about the ScanNCut converter and how to use it. So I've already got my shapes in a ScanNCut file on my desktop, and I'm going to open them up in ScanNCut Canvas. So I'm going to come to this SVG icon, and where it says choose the file, I'm going to navigate to my desktop and find the cutting file that I've got saved and say OK. And I'm just going to zoom in so you can see them. Basically, these are the letters H, A, P, P, Y. So I don't need 2 of them, or 2 of these same shapes, but I want the other ones for now. So I'm going to go back to view and fit to mat, and then all as I did, I can move that out of the way now because that's just a guide. I had a look at these shapes and I lined them up and dragged them out just by eye and rotated them until they fit on this line. Just going to drag this one out. Again, I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to put it here. You can position them as far in as you want, but bear in mind that they've got to sit on the front of your card, so you don't want them too far down, because you might want to leave a space to put a greeting. It's entirely up to you. As I say, this is just my guide, this. And then, in fact, I'm going to move that one. I'm going to put it there, and I'm going to choose this one and drag this one out. And again, I'm going to rotate it and I'm going to put it there. You don't have to have them all touching, but they need to touch this line to weld. But I find if you have them welding or touching each other, so they not only weld to this line but weld to each other, it just makes the card cut a little bit easier. So you may want to rotate them just so that they can overlap each other. I might make this one a bit bigger. You just have to play around with it and see how you like the look of it. Now I'm just going to zoom in on this section here. So you can see that this overlaps this snowflake here, and on this side it overlaps there, and they all overlap this line. So I'm going to select everything here, and I'm going to go to Edit and Weld. Then I'm going to go back to Fit to Matte. I'm going to colour it in just so you can see it, so it stands out a little bit better. Put my base card behind it just to give you an idea of the scale. And that's how I made it. And then the last thing I did, I just took one of the other snowflakes, positioned it on top. Now it's not on top there, you can see it's gone behind because you can't see it. So I'm going to left click on the main layered section and click center back, and that'll bring this to the front. And then I'm going to grab those two, and with this snowflake on the top of this layer, I'm now going to go to Edit and Subtract, and that will just punch that shape out of there. You don't have to do that. You could just cut it separately. In fact, I think I cut it separately out of silver mirror card and positioned it there, but it's entirely up to you what you do. If you don't want it to look like that, just click undo until you get rid of it and just have it looking like that, and then cut this separately as a bit of a decoration. And as I say, you don't need to cut this. This was just a guide, as a visual guide for me, because that's roughly going to be about the size of the front of my base card. So I can get rid of that, can position these two here, give the project a name up here, and then save it, and then download it however you download it to your machine and cut it. So I hope you found that helpful. Please give the video a thumbs up if you did. Don't forget to subscribe. Make sure the notification icon is turned on, and that way you'll be notified when I post videos or go and do some live streams. And I'll see you in the next video. Thank you.